Alright guys, this is my attempt, a little video to help somebody out in case they're stuck trying to get this rear door of this Nissan Cube open. About a year ago, my rear hatch just kind of stopped opening. I could lock, I could unlock, I could pull on the handle, and it wouldn't do anything. So we messed with it about a year ago and couldn't figure it out. I went on YouTube and the internet and Google searched all day long, and I just couldn't find anything figuring out how to do it. I found discussions that mentioned it was a frequent occurrence, that it was a faulty latch, that it happened on early model Nissan Cubes. I guess 2009 was the first year, so 2009, 10s maybe. The only thing I could get was that people ended up taking it to a dealer, and the dealer ended up destroying a part with a chisel, basically, to get it open, and then charging for a new part plus labor for $500 is what I saw. So I just kind of kept hoping that somebody on YouTube would make a video, or I'd find some pictures, something, and I never did. So for some reason today, I decided to give it a shot, and this is what I came up with. So we did not take pictures or make videos as we did it, but I think I can walk you through the main points to at least help you out. So the problem is that the latch itself here, this part here that's supposed to spring open when activated by this cable. This cable's activated by pulling on this handle. This goes faulty. Somewhere inside there's some internal spring or switch or a little piece of whatever that goes bad. And once that happens, there's absolutely no way to get to this unless you can get the door open, and you can't get the door open. So what you basically have to do is first climb inside the car. So you're going to be climbing inside here, put the seats down, climb inside, kind of sit there and be looking this direction, kind of looking towards that panel. First thing you have to do is pry this panel off. So just reach inside with a screwdriver, start popping. These little catches will hopefully release. If they don't, you can replace these. They just slide on and off. There's, I don't know, a total of 6 or 8 of them or something like that. Once that piece is off, you're gonna see this plastic here, and you just slowly peel this plastic off. When you're done, you're gonna have to go buy another tube of goop, reapply the goop, reseal this water seal on here. Once you've got both of those pieces off, you're basically going to be looking at this door panel. One thing you don't need to do is remove this panel. We did that. We moved the seat, pulled the seat belt out, popped all the pops, and got this panel out here. Ended up breaking one of these pieces. It didn't achieve anything. There was no point to it. What you need to do is basically get that latch to release here, and then your door will open. So what you're gonna have to do is, again, sit inside the luggage compartment or the trunk or wherever it is. You're gonna be sitting here, you're gonna be looking at this angle here, and what you're gonna see when you look kind of straight back towards the hole is you're gonna see this part here. So this is the first part. I found it kind of amusing that it says Shita. And this part's going to be inverted here, and it's going to be basically sitting in this position here. So as this sits here, when you pull on the door handle, it pulls on that little arm. I don't know if you can see that little arm moving. When you pull the door handle, it pulls on that arm. There's a spring there. What that arm does is that arm, again, pulls on that cable. So I have no idea what this does. It clicks when you push on it. There was a little arm here. The little arm, when you click down here, this little arm came up and like moved this pin back and forth. I have no idea what that accomplished. While we were trying to fix this the first time, we broke that. But hopefully, and it looks like that's some sort of emergency release, and we're not going to need that. So don't worry about that part, the shita, yet. What you are going to see when you look to the side is this actual latch. So if we see those 3 holes there, 1, 2, 3, this part basically sits where those 3 holes are there, like that. All right, and what you're gonna have to do, since it's sitting this way inside the door, is you're gonna have to take a screwdriver, disconnect gently the connector right there. There's the connector in there, and then start just basically prying away at this plastic. And it's the only way to make this thing happen, is just keep prying away. We took a screwdriver, a hammer, we just basically hammered the screwdriver in at this angle here and just kept chopping away at it until you basically ended up making a hole in the latch. Once we had enough of the plastic knocked away, there was actually a lot of plastic. I threw most of it away already. I just kind of reached in here with the screwdriver and I started just kind of messing with this. And I don't know how it actually works, doesn't really matter, but I just kept messing and messing and messing. And eventually we got that to happen. And when that happened, the door popped open. So my door was open for the first time in like a year. Once the door is open, you still need to get these pieces out. This piece comes out rather easily. Like I said, what you don't need to bother doing is removing this. We thought maybe we had to remove this piece in order to get the cable off. You don't have to remove this piece. As you see on the new one, the piece is in place here. What you do need to do is once the door is open, you need to follow this cable. This cable slides into this latch. And in order to get this cable off of this latch, you're gonna have to remove this piece. So again, we've destroyed that. We've screwed around inside with it with a screwdriver, got the door to open. Once the door is open, this is gonna be sitting basically like this. You just need a hex wrench to remove that screw. Once that screw is loose, then that screw is basically holding that piece there. Once you take that screw out, this piece falls free and you're left with this latch like this. With this in place, just kind of reach inside and push and it'll pop to the right. And once it pops to the right, it'll get kind of loose. Once this is kind of loose and moving around freely, your next job is to get this slide to disconnect from that last piece. So if we look up here, you're going to be back inside the car. Again, this arm, this piece of plastic, as you pull back and forth on the handle, it slides right here on this track. So all you need to do is take, again, the tip of your screwdriver and take this piece and just push it that way to your left. This little piece moves to the left. As it moves to the left, it pops out of that track kind of over to this side. Then this handle falls free. Once this handle falls free, this will immediately come loose. Once this is loose from the door, it was here, now it's loose from the door, you can get to the back side of it. And on the back side, this is where the cable attaches. So reach in, pop the cable loose. Once the cable is loose, this whole piece is loose. This is your faulty piece. So from there, we took the whole piece over to my Nissan dealership. I did some internet searching and I found Nissan part number 90501-1FCOB. It's a lock and REMT remote. They wanted to charge me $173 over the phone. I said, well, on the internet, I'm seeing it for like $135. So, why do you refuse to focus? So they said, all right, show me a printout from the internet. They matched the $135 price. So it says right here, wholesale preferred internet price. And my total with tax, focus, $145.94. So instead of $400, I paid $145. $145 basically gets you this piece here. So once you have this piece here, it looks like we're just going to again reattach it. Those 3 holes line up, use those 1, 2, 3 hex or star nuts. Rerun this cable, attach it. I'm sorry, I guess it would be this new one. This cable basically sits. That sits against the door. There, L is for left, I don't know. Those 3 bolts go in place. This attaches. This makes like basically a U. Just kind of pay attention to how it is when you get there and reattach the new piece to the old handle. Once it's in place, kind of put everything back together. One thing I don't know what this does, this little clicker, I have no idea. Clicks. It moves this little arm that broke off while we were, and it somehow activates that pin right there. I have no idea what that does, but hopefully I won't need it. I figured it was some emergency release. That's why the first time we messed with this thing a ton trying to get this thing to open, and it wouldn't. So again, this is not the faulty piece. This is this piece here. One thing you don't need to bother doing is removing this plate. On the first one, we removed this plate as we worked on it, thinking that this was necessary, and it's not at all. So don't even bother removing this plate here, these little screws here. We stripped a bunch of these screws, and we had to like actually take a grinder and create like a new screw head by grinding a flat spot on the screw. So don't worry about that. One more thing is, once it's all back together, obviously try it before you put it back together. And then there's an option in your owner's manual that talks about disabling the automatic locks. By default, my car, I knew every time I took it out of park, it would lock the doors. Every time I put it back in park, it would unlock. And to me, you're just putting a whole lot of extra cycles through a part that's not really that well designed. Supposedly this new part is much better designed now, and but if you can program the doors to just only open when you need them, you can just use your remote on your key. You hit unlock once, only your driver door unlocks. This back hatch is not continuously locking and unlocking 5 or 10 times a day. That might help you out. In case you guys are wondering, this Cube was in a hailstorm. It was totaled by an insurance company, and I was able to buy it at an auction. It was an '09. I bought it in 2010 with only 9,000 miles on it. It was pretty cheap. All I did was fill in the holes. Obviously, I didn't do that great a job because look, you can still see a divot there. But filled in, and then we paid Line X to put a Line X roof on. And so far it's lasted 6 years, and the only problem I've ever had is this door latch. Put some little wheels and tires on there. The old wheels were just the steel factory ones, and the tires were bald. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Thanks for watching.